Hey guys, what's going on? It's Tim Shurr with Shurr Success, and today we're talking about affirmations. Positive affirmations. What's the deal with those things? Do they really work? That's what we're going to talk about right now. Here's the question. What's going on inside the minds of top achievers that cause them to make extraordinary breakthroughs both personally and professionally? My name is Tim Shurr, and I invite you to join me as we take a deep dive into the unconscious mind and discover how to transform your biggest dreams into a reality. Welcome to the How to Be Mesmerizing podcast. So, positive affirmations. That's when you write out a whole list of ideas that you would like to believe about yourself, your future, your goals, your relationships, your health, your money, your destiny. So, do positive affirmations really work? Well, here's the deal. Yes, they do, but only if you deliver them to your subconscious mind in the right way. You see, most people say that they are going to do positive affirmations, and then they try it out for a little while, and then they tell themselves that, oh, this isn't really working. I don't really believe this. This is silly. It's a waste of time. I'm just lying to myself. All of those statements become affirmations, and they believe them because we tend to buy into the negative or self-limiting affirmations a little bit more, and here's why. It's because we say them with more intensity, more emotional intensity. So let me tell you a story. So there was a guy I was working with, and he came in because he had low self-esteem, and he wanted me to help him boost his confidence. And so I said, okay, great. So I helped him shift some beliefs, and that was going well. And but his self-talk, what he would say to himself, his daily affirmations were terrible. I mean, he was really hard on himself. And so, of course, if you go to a scary movie and you walk out scared and freaked out, you shouldn't be surprised. If you go to an action-packed movie and you walk out and you're a little adrenalized, you shouldn't be surprised. If you go to a comedy and you're laughing and you walk out in a good mood, you shouldn't be surprised. So if you're telling yourself a bunch of scary, mean things, then you shouldn't be surprised if you feel bad. So I gave him some suggestions on some affirmations to use so that he could focus his mind in the right way. And he came back a week later and he said, Tim, it just didn't work for me. And I said, well, tell me what happened. And he said, well, I did what you said. I went home and I got out a piece of paper and I wrote down 10 things I wanted to believe about myself. And then I read them to myself and I didn't feel any different at all. And then the next day, I was in a situation and I was getting really stressed out. And so I pulled out those affirmations and I read them again. And then I realized, you know what? This is not working. This is just, I'm frustrated and I'm stressed and these affirmations are a bunch of crap and it's just not working for me. And I'm like, okay, I get it. So you did it 1.5 times and then you told yourself with emotion that it wasn't for you. It wasn't going to work out and it was just full of beans, full of baloney. And he's like, yeah, I guess that's what happened. I said, well, no wonder you didn't believe it. You gave emotion to the fears and the other stuff. You know, how did you read your affirmations? And he said, well, I just said, I can handle stress in a way that, makes me feel proud of myself. And, every day in every way, my life is getting better. And he, as he was saying it to me, you could tell there was just no energy, or there was a little bit of energy, but it was more like resentful, or frustrated that he even had to say this stuff because he knew the truth, which, our truth is very subjective. It's not the truth. It's the truth that we came up with in our head. And so that's why the affirmations didn't work for him. It wasn't that they don't work, and it wasn't that there was something that was wrong with him. It was the delivery. It's how you deliver these affirmations and how long you deliver them. See, people process information differently. For some people, it's not how long you give the affirmations to yourself. It's what kind of emotion goes along with them. For other people, it is how long you stick with it. For some people, it takes repetition over a longer period of time for it to sink in, for people to finally start to buy into it and adopt it and start reinforcing it and really believing it. So I don't know exactly what it's going to be for you. Maybe it's amount of time, maybe it's the affirmations that you say, maybe it's the emotion that you put behind it. When it comes to the kind of affirmations that you say, maybe you start out with affirmations that feel a little bit more possible. Like, for example, if you want to lose weight and you tell yourself, I'm going to be 100 pounds thinner in the next year, your mind might go, 100 pounds? I've never lost 100 pounds in my whole life. But you could say, I'm going to be 10 pounds thinner in the next 2 months, and I'm excited about drinking more water. I'm excited about eating healthier, fresh energy foods that have lots of color in them. I'm excited about being able to put on that next smaller size clothes that are waiting in my closet. I'm so excited that this is something that I'm doing now and I'm taking care of myself. See, the goal has become smaller, but it's still important. It's still exciting. It's still vital, and it'll still keep you motivated, especially if you focus on the end result and all the positive things that are going to happen for you as you achieve this goal. Not just when you achieve the goal, but as you are achieving the goal, as you go through the journey, because it's the journey that grows you as a person and allows you to be able to not only get the goal, but keep the goal. So sometimes we need to be more, take it a step at a time. For other people, it's that big end result that makes them excited. So if you were trying to build wealth and you said, I'm going to make an extra $100 this month, that might not do it for you. But if you say, I'm going to make an extra $5,000 of residual income that's just going to be flowing in every month, and I don't have to do anything about it, right? I set it up, I get it in place, and I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to crush this. It's awesome. It's a done deal. I don't even have to hope it's going to work. I'm going to make it work. Success is coming to me from all directions, and it is good. Woo! Yeah. Okay. Now, you might be that person who you have to have a big, exciting goal, and that's what you focus on so that it keeps you motivated. So we want to make sure that you are focusing on figuring out the affirmations that are going to be appropriate for you, that are going to be motivating enough, but not over the top unless that's what you like. Sometimes they have to seem believable. And once you start to open up to the possibility that it can happen, well, you're already halfway there. Now, I think the thing that matters more than anything else is repetition and emotion. I think that when you say your affirmations, you've got to say them with emotion, because your feelings are like the rocket fuel that drives those thoughts deep into your mind. I mean, think about it. When people are upset and they're stressed out and they're saying all these scary things to themselves, they're using a lot of emotion, right? So, here's an example. Somebody's going, you know what? Everything's going to work out for me and my relationship is going to be happier and everything's oh, you know what? This is a bunch of crap. My spouse drives me crazy and they don't give a crap about me, and no matter what I do, it's never good enough. So again, notice where the emphasis is. Notice where the conviction is. Notice where the certainty is. It's in reinforcing the negative thoughts, the self-limiting thoughts, by creating this, sense of, I know the truth when you're talking about things that you're afraid of or that you don't want. All you got to do is reverse that strategy. Use the same approach, because people are very good at reinforcing their fears. So the approach works. So use the same approach and map it across. That's just a NLP term. It just means take what's working in one area of your life and apply it to another area of your life, and you should experience the same results because the strategy works. So it's just what you fill in the blank. If you don't know what NLP is, that stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and you should check it out. It's the science of excellence and the science of how to make things happen in your life, how we create our subjective reality. I've been studying it for 25 years, and it is awesome. A lot of times people say, well, how do you get such great results? And I'm like, well, I use hypnosis and NLP. Hypnosis puts you in a relaxed, open, suggestible state of mind and helps me figure out what your deep driving beliefs are so we can shift them. And NLP is what I use when I'm in there, when I'm in that head of yours. So anyway, all right, so we want to make sure that we are using emotion to drive our affirmations. So here's what you do. The first thing you do is you write down what you want to believe about yourself. Now, as I've said in other talks, most people know very clearly what they don't want, what they're afraid of, what they don't like, what they're missing. Very few know very clearly what they do want and how they want it to show up and how they want to be and how they want to show up in the situation, right? So sometimes just writing down what you really want using I am statements or I have, right? I am good, not I'm going to be good, not one day I'm going to be good, but I am good. I am worthy. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of respect. Or I am loving myself more every day. I am respecting myself more every day. I am setting boundaries in my life and taking better care of myself because I am worth it. So you can start out with affirmations like that. I am a money magnet. Everywhere I go, there are opportunities, and I recognize them now. My beautiful mind notices opportunities everywhere I go. I attract the right people, the right opportunities, the right situations into my life, and I take action on them as quickly as I notice them, and I follow through because I am a money magnet. And so you can say these things and write them down. Now, if you're not sure what to say, then write down what you're afraid of, and then just next to it, what's the opposite of that statement? You know, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy becomes I am good enough, I am worthy. You know, I'm tired of being broke becomes I am finding new ways to add value and bring more money into my life each and every day. So think about the opposite of your worries, the opposite of your fears, the opposite of the things that are stressing you out or causing anxiety. You know, if you're having anxiety, it's usually a fear that something bad's going to happen. So start focusing on what if something good happens, right? What if this goes really well and works out better than I thought? Well, then write that down as an affirmation. Things are going better in my life than I would have imagined. Things work out for me. I expect a miracle. Somehow, in some way, things always work out for me. God is watching out for me. The universe is taking care of me. They are my co-pilots, right? So whatever makes you feel more secure, that's what you would write down. Try to write down 10 of them, and then every day add 1 or 2, and until you have this beautiful list. And then you can read them to yourself, or you can record them into your smartphone and then play it back, like you're creating your own affirmations program that's customized and tailor-made. So you can do that. If you need me to do it for you, create a great list and I'll add to it. I'm going to have to charge. It's going to cost you some cash, but you know, if you want something that's tailor-made, then let me know. And if I have the time, I might be able to do that for you. So I think you can do this on your own though, right? You can do this on your own. I can do this on my own. So you write down your affirmations. Once you have them, then say them with passion. Now you can do this in a couple different ways. So one of the ways you can do this is just by imagining that you're saying these to a child that you love or a best friend that you love. You know, a lot of times the trick that works is if you can think of something nice to say to yourself, what would you tell a friend that's in the same situation? Maybe they made the same mistake that you just made, or they're feeling bad about themselves, or they've been through similar stuff that you've been through in the past, and they're feeling down. What would you say to make them feel better? Would you say, you know, forget about it, you're a loser, it's not going to matter anyway? Probably not, right? Instead, you'd say, you know what, you're an awesome person, and you're being too hard on yourself. You need to take it easy. We all make mistakes, and you just forgive yourself and move on because you're awesome, and you know, you're going to be okay. And then just say those things to yourself. Okay, just instead of saying you, change it to I. I'm a good person. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. I don't know anybody that doesn't make mistakes, but I'm going to be okay. I forgive myself. I'm going to learn from this, and I'm going to be okay. And that's what you do. You focus on thinking maybe, what would I say to a child? Would I tell a child you're stupid and ugly? Well, I hope not. That would be horrible. Well, quit telling that to the little girl or boy that lives inside of you then. What would you say to that child to make them feel better? What would you want to hear? What do you wish you would have heard from the people that were raising you? Write it down. You don't have to wait to hear it from them. It's more powerful if you hear it from yourself anyway. So write those things down and then say it with emotion. You can say it with emotion by just literally raising your voice and speaking passionately. And sometimes you have to fake it till you become it, right? Sometimes you have to change the state first. Bounce up and down, right? Literally, like bounce up and down. And run around the couch a couple of times. Get your heart beating a little bit faster. Watch an inspiring movie. And right when you're most inspired watching the movie, pause the movie and jump up and start saying your affirmations so that you get into a resourceful state. Some people walking, just taking a walk or going for a jog and saying these things to themselves puts them in a more empowered state. Or while you're exercising, have the affirmations playing in the background. Because then, while you're in that altered state, your mind soaks in these affirmations. Again, whatever you hear it the most, you're going to start to absorb it. That's why I always tell people, be aware of what TV you watch, what shows you watch, what movies you watch, what audio programs you watch, because, or what audio programs you listen to, the news programs you take into your brain, because that stuff gets absorbed into you. I don't care how positive you are. If you're around negativity a lot, it's going to have an effect on you. And so put boundaries in place, protect yourself. And if you are in a job where there are people around that aren't as mature or enlightened or who are just downright negative, if they're energy vampires, then you need a way to fill back up and protect yourself. Your affirmations is one way of doing that. So it'll fill you up so that there's no way anybody can drain you, no matter how negative they are. You've got this barrier around you. And after a while, they're not going to want to be around you, or they won't talk to you, or they will literally get another job and go away. I've seen that happen many times because they don't want to be around that kind of energy that you're vibrating at. But if you let them bring you down, or you feed into their negativity, or you get mad at them, or you hold it inside, you hold it, all your stress inside, and you don't express it or get it out, then it's like they brought you down to where they're at. And that's not what we want, right? We want to lift you up. And the best way to lift you up is to fill your mind with good thoughts, loving energy, and positivity, right? So, okay, so let's review. Affirmations do work, but you have to say them over time. You have to say them with enough emotion, and you've got to make them feel, adjust them so that they feel real enough for you to start to be open to the possibility that this could be for you, that you can believe this. Because you can, I'm telling you, if I followed you around since you were little, telling you you're a banana, you would think you were a banana today. And it's just kind of how the mind works. And so now that seems silly, right? But so are a lot of the other beliefs, that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not thin enough, you're not pretty enough or handsome enough, you're not good enough to be able to attract money, you're not, whatever it is, whatever that you're not enough is a bunch of baloney. You might as well think you're a banana, because both of them are false, okay? Both of them are fruity ideas. Instead, know that you are amazing, that you have incredible gifts and incredible talents inside, even if you haven't recognized them yet. You are born with them. We all have a story. We all have a talent. We all have something inside of us that is good. And it's just finding it and then standing in your power, using your voice and owning it, right? And it doesn't matter if other people believe it or see it. That doesn't matter. That happens afterwards anyway. And it doesn't matter if anybody else reinforces your affirmations. You might start doing these affirmations and feel better about yourself, and the people around you will immediately try to bring you back down. That's because most of the time, human beings don't feel excited when they see other people succeed or get better. They get jealous or envious, or it brings up their own inadequacies or feelings of insecurity. And so they want you to go back to playing the role that they're comfortable with you playing. And you gotta say, no, I'm not doing that anymore, right? I'm taking a stand for me. And if they don't like it, they're either gonna adjust, they're gonna learn how to communicate with me differently, or they're not gonna be a part of my life anymore. And there are people that I really care about that are no longer a part of my life because they just weren't good for me and for my family anymore. And that was hard. I mean, those were hard decisions, but it was the right decision because I needed to be in a different environment where I was a better human being and where I was protecting myself and my family from people who just, were good people, but just had different perspectives, had different communication styles, and had different beliefs. And I'm so committed to trying to be the best that I can be and be honest and loving and supportive and to be a really great person. And that means that I have put myself through the ringer, trying to grow, trying to learn, going through all kinds of uncomfortable feelings and situations, going through seminars and where I had to face my stuff, right? And it was uncomfortable, but your biggest breakthroughs are hidden in the places you don't want to go. I'm going to say that again. Your biggest breakthroughs are hidden in the places you don't want to go. And when you start really focusing on walking intentionally into the stuff that you don't want to deal with, opening that closet door that you're afraid you'll never close again, I've never seen that happen. I've ripped the door off that closet door with thousands of people. They only got better. Of course, you got to know what you're doing when you go in that closet. I got 30 years of experience, so I know exactly what to do when I take you into that closet, right? So, but that's where the breakthroughs are, because that's where the pain is, and that's where the faulty beliefs are. And we go shift that, and then that helps us get our shift together. And then we create new beliefs, and that's when we start to tell ourselves these new ideas. Every negative belief or fear you have was just an idea. You weren't born with it. It was just an idea, and it got reinforced. It either got reinforced once with a whole bunch of emotion behind it, or it got reinforced over and over and over again. And that's why it's stuck. Now we know the strategy. Let's unstick it. When you talk about your fears, try this week to talk about what you're afraid of as you're bored out of your mind when you say it. Next time you get stressed, try to be stressed, but say it in the most bored way. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty worried about whatever's going to happen today. I can't wait. I'm going to be really, really scared, I guess. Okay? Does that really work? No, I don't think so. Because you can't be stressed in slow motion. You got to speed up. You got to create intensity. What's intensity? Emotion, right? You raise your emotions. You speed up and get faster and get, oh my God, right? And that's why it feels real. So use the strategy that you've been using your whole lifetime, because you already know it works. Use it in this new way. Use it in a way that focuses your mind on the new beliefs, and then say them like you're excited about them. Like you're going to the movies, or you're going to the Disney World, or you're going to see, you just won the $1 million lottery, or whatever it is, whatever lights you up. You're going to see this new person and you can't wait to see them. Whatever lights you up inside. I want you to imagine that maybe it's a herd of cute little puppies and you're going to go play with them and they love to see you. Whatever lights you up, imagine that's how you talk about these new affirmations. And then do it for the next 14 days. After the next 14 days, if you don't start to feel a little bit better, you can go back to the negative ones. But for the next 14 days, commit yourself. And then after those 14 days, if you find that you are feeling a little bit better, they're a little easier to say, then keep going. Do it for another 14 days. After 30 days of planting these suggestions into your mind, you will start to believe them more. Not only that, because you are saying these new things to yourself, it subconsciously opens up a new area of your mind and allows the reticular activating system in your brain, which is the part of you that kind of takes in information. You have all kinds of information, all kinds of data coming into your five senses all the time. Some researchers say that you have 2.5 million bits of data coming into you from all around you every second. Now, you can only process about 150,000 bits of data a second, so your mind literally has to choose what to delete and what to ignore and what to not pay attention to. For example, how does the big toe on your left foot feel? Well, now you know, right? Or your pinky on your right hand, your pinky finger. How does that feel? Well, now you know. You probably weren't paying attention to that before. But when I directed your mind to it, you suddenly were aware of how it felt. Because we were focused on doing this lesson with the affirmations, you weren't thinking about your toe or your finger. And so your brain thought that's not necessary data for you to be consciously aware of, so it deleted out of your awareness. Well, you have situations around you all the time that you're either zooming in on because of your beliefs, or you are deleting and locking out of your awareness. Now, think about that for a second. You will have opportunities to get what you want or feel the way that you want to feel. They're around you right now. Those opportunities that feel nowhere are now here. If you take the words know and where, N-O-W-H-E-R-E, and you put them together, they also can spell now here. Same letters, nowhere and now here. Same letters. It's just where you put your attention. Do you put your attention on the N-O and then a space so it says nowhere? Or do you put your space after the W, N-O-W, now here? Your opportunities are nowhere to be found, or they're now here, baby. It just depends on where you put your attention. And so if you are giving yourself these affirmations, your mind will literally start to seek out opportunities that are already in front of you, that are already around you. Let that one soak in, because that's pretty powerful. All right, so that's our affirmations. So you have your homework for today. I want you to write down affirmations. I want you to write down 10 of them, what you want to believe about yourself. If you don't have time to do that, then you don't have time to feel good, and you won't have time to achieve your goal. So I would suggest that you make the time to do this. There is no good time to do this. There's just doing it, right? So you write it down, and the sooner the better, because it's fresh in your mind right now. You're most motivated. If you're in the car listening to this, as soon as we're done with this program, hit the recorder on your phone or call yourself and leave yourself a voicemail and start saying these affirmations with passion, and then listen to the voicemail later on over and over again. That might be your first affirmations tape right there. And so make sure you do this, say it with emotion, and commit to doing it for the next 14 days, and it will make you feel better about yourself. And you'll find that your mind starts focusing on new opportunities. You'll start attracting more happiness and success and joy into your life. You'll start noticing things that you hadn't noticed before. It will literally feel like a miracle. Miracles happen every day. You should expect yours to you should expect yours to show up any moment. Thanks so much. Make today count, because you're awesome, and make it a sure success. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Hey, would you like more free tips on how to be a mesmerizing leader? Then check out mesmerizingleadership.com, and also hang out with me on Facebook, facebook.com/Tim Shurr. Thanks so much, and make your day a sure success.